Hello and welcome to another Wise Option e-learning. In today's e-learning, we're going to be talking about the contracts module and talking about creating queries for the contracts module. So in the contracts module, of course, we have this really nice grid view, which then lends itself really nicely to creating different queries. I'm going to go ahead and select this button here to open up my list of queries. So you can see I've created several different queries here in this field. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this one. I'm going to go ahead and search using just this one here. Not sure if I have any active contracts. I might not. I've got one active contract here. So this is a really nice way, of course, I can very easily switch between these different queries. So I'm going to go ahead and create a different one here. So of course, with these contract types, you may want to maybe create a query for a specific season, a specific stallion, a specific status like I have, active only or maybe pending only. And a really nice addition to this contracts module is that status. So it makes it really easy to be able to filter through with what you just want to view. I do have a query here for all contracts, just as kind of a disclaimer. I don't have very many contracts, of course, in this system since it's a demo. It only has about 40. You may have several hundred or even thousands of contracts, and you may not want to load all contracts. So just as a little disclaimer there, you may not want to create a query for all contracts, as it's going to take a little bit to load, and it's not probably going to be very helpful for you. So I'm going to go ahead and create another query. I'm going to go ahead and say maybe the 2022 season. I'm going to go ahead and make it a favorite query so it shows in this drop-down list. Select it, and I'm going to go ahead and start adding my criteria. So the first criteria, of course, I want is season. Equals, go ahead and check that box, 2022. And then this next line here. So you could stop here and just say season is 2022. But again, with this new contracts module, you do also have the additional option too to include things like status, which is a really nice thing. So maybe you only want to view pending contracts for 2022 because you're working on trying to hunt down who's paid, who hasn't, or who you've sent things to. Or maybe you just want to view active ones. Hey, which ones are actually good to go and are in the active status. So that's another idea as well. So you can include things like status as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this query here just the way it is, just with the season. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add just one more query as well. So another thing again to think about, of course, with the status and the different queries as well. One thing that we frequently run into, of course, with the old contracts was how to account for things like contracts rolling over, or maybe, yeah, it was a contract from last year, but it's still active, things like that. So this contracts module really opens up a lot of different options for how you can handle the contracts here in Wise Option. So if you'd like to just stick to seasons, you definitely can, but just another option here as well, you could include things like this contract start date. So you'll notice that's a new field as well. So the start date of the contract and include the active status as well. So maybe I just want to view, I'll say I'm going to want to view all pending contracts. And then I'll say, I'm going to do a little parentheses and we'll do starting from 2021. Make this a favorite query, hit save. So I'm going to go ahead and the first thing I'd like to do is, of course, select the first criteria I'm going to do is status. And I'm going to go ahead and do, this should be pending. And then I'll also include the other criteria I'd like to include is the start year. I'll do the start date should be greater than or equal to. And I'm going to go ahead and put 1/1/2021. Now I'm going to go ahead and save and search. So this is going to bring up all pending contracts that have a start date of at least 1/1/21 and forward. So you can see here I do have several pending contracts here that do have the start date of 1/1/2021 and forward. So just a couple ideas here to get you started building some queries. Of course, if you have any questions, let us know. Thanks so much.